Hello there, and welcome to my channel where I read unhinged stories from Reddit. Before we get started, please like, share and subscribe if you are enjoying these stories. If not, let me know what you think is missing down in the comments. So we are back doing topics, and today I'm pulling stories from the Today I Fudged Up subreddit. So, let's get started. Today I fudged up by thinking I was muted in my Zoom lecture and called my professor a son of an itch in front of 150 people. Hey guys, so today is the first day of the new semester where I'm from, Germany, and I woke up at 11:02 a.m. since I thought my first lecture would be at 2 p.m. I then woke up to an email saying there was a Zoom meeting at 11 a.m. So I immediately turned on my PC and joined the meeting and asked a friend of mine if he also joined. He didn't even know what I was talking about, so I texted him the meeting ID and the password and asked him if he wanted to listen to the lecture together on Discord. He said, yes, so we hopped onto the Discord together and began trash-talking the professor for the bad communication where I called him a son of an itch for sending the mail at 10 a.m. for a lesson at 11 a.m. Now, here's the problem. Every lecture I had last semester immediately muted everyone who joined, so in my mind I was muted. Turns out I wasn't, and immediately my phone got flooded with messages asking me to turn my mic off. Great start to the new semester. I hope you guys had a better day than me today. TLDR thought I was muted and called my professor a son of an itch in front of 150 people while trash-talking him with my friend. Oh my god. This is one of my biggest fears. I have PTSD from college. This was way before Zoom. So, I was in the dorm talking to friend number 1 on the phone. After I hung up, I started gossiping about friend number 1 with friend number 2 who was in the room with me. Turns out I didn't properly hang up the phone and friend number 1 was still on the line listening in. I have been paranoid about this ever since. I also worked for a company where most of the employees worked remotely over almost 2 decades. So, I won't tell you the number of inappropriate things I've heard and seen. Anyways, getting back to the story. I think OP can kiss a good grade or high mark goodbye. I'm not sure you can recover from that. I mean, the professor would have to be super nice to let it go. So, OP better study hard. Has something similar ever happened to you? Please let me know if it has. I'd love to know I am not the only one here this has happened to. Were you being mean? Or was it just harmless gossip? I really want to know. TIFU by eating candy in such a childish fashion that it caused my husband a panic attack and a 911 call. This is so stupid and it happened last night and I'm sure we'll both laugh about eventually, but husband is still kinda ticked. So I was being a trash goblin last night and staying up into the wee hours to eat Easter candy and play video games, which I don't do that often. Anyway, does anyone else enjoy robin's eggs? Those neon-colored malted milk ball eggs they sell this time of year? Well, as a kid I used to do this stupid thing where I would lick them and smear the color all over my lips because hey, free lipstick. Do not ask what compelled me to do this, but I did this last night with a blue one. Then of course, because I am a trash goblin, I forgot all about it, fell asleep slack-jawed upright on the couch with the lights on and TV still going. Next thing I know there's shouting, panicking sounds, and I'm being shaken violently, and by the time I come to, I see my husband fumbling with his phone. I kind of flapped my arms angrily and said something like, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah, he had been about to call 911 because he just walked out on his wife passed out with blue lips. He thought I was choking. He was pretty incensed when I told him it was candy. It's the dumbest thing I've ever had to explain in our whole marriage. TLDR, I accidentally did a candy-coated imitation of the recently deceased, causing my husband a panic attack and a near summoning of an ambulance. Edit, didn't expect this to be so popular. Thanks for the awards, and the discussions on different candy-eating rituals. My husband has steadied his nerves and is now just ribbing me mercilessly. Not just for scaring him senseless, but also because I've been training for a triathlon and eating really healthily, so this lapse was extra grotesque. This is so funny. I also have weird habits when eating some types of candy. So no judgment here, OP. Sometimes it's just fun to do things like a child. Like when Phoebe from Friends is running in the park with arms flailing. But also, some of these are long-term habits that we don't even think about. I do feel bad for OP's husband though. That must have been scary for him. But still, pretty funny. What about you guys? What is something really silly and childlike that you still do as an adult? Okay, I have one more story for you today. Today I fudged up by pushing my girlfriend too hard. My girlfriend and I were laying down on our bed and watching funny videos on YouTube. She was laughing hysterically at quite a few. So much so that it caused her to let one fart more than once. This was obviously not intentional, which made it both hilarious and adorable. After the third time it happened, she said, "I'm really gassy." I took this as an opportunity to quickly press down on her stomach, which then almost immediately triggered an enormous fart. I lost it. It was so funny, and I could feel the vibration as the pressure caused her to fart again and again. I couldn't help myself and kept doing it. This is how I fudged up. Oh man, I see where this is going. After a few successful attempts, I tried for a final push. I wanted to end it on a huge one. It was so funny and she was laughing so much. I pushed down and nothing. So, I pushed again, but this time much harder. Now this is where I should note that she was wearing nothing but one of my t-shirts. Hence she had no underwear on. My girlfriend sharted. She sharted and then had a severe follow-through. All over our bed. She was mortified. It went from pure joy to absolute chaos and horror. She was just staring at me blankly like she had just killed someone. Oh my god. This is so funny and horrible at the same time. I didn't know what to do as she went quiet. My legs covered in shit. I stared right back, gently held her hands and walked together to the shower without looking back at the bed or down at my legs. We didn't say a word. I cleaned up my legs before leaving her to clean herself up. She made me promise not to go into the bedroom. I adore her completely. She looked so scared when I left her in the shower and wouldn't let me clean up despite my offering to do so. Eventually, I walked in the bedroom to help. She was so apologetic, although I assured her that it's completely fine. She burst out laughing when I said to her, "Don't worry. You will always be my little shit. Don't worry guys. All good. Luckily I have thick skin and can take a lot of shit." Winking face. I adore her. TLDR pushed my girlfriend too hard for shits and giggles. Ended up getting more shit than giggles. Oh dear. I knew this was going to happen. What do you expect? Plus, in the interest of full disclosure, this happened to me. Well, not exactly, but hear me out. I was coming home from school and my grandfather, who raised me, was a very strong man. He was a bit too happy. I think he had a couple of beers. He wasn't drunk but close to tipsy, I think. I picked up my dog and was holding her to say hi. My grandpa decided that would be a good time to grab me and lift me over his shoulders, out of the blue. I was still holding my dog, so I hugged her really hard so she wouldn't fall. I was screaming, and when he put me down, my clothes were covered in dog poop. I started screaming and crying. The dog was terrified. My best friend who had come home with me was laughing hysterically. My mom was yelling, all upset because she would have to wash my shitty clothes, and my grandpa just walked away. Ah, good memories. I do laugh about it now. Not then, though. So, what about you guys? Ever been covered in poop? Yours or someone or something else's? I sure hope not. Well, this seems as good a place as any to end the video, don't you think? Yup, I think so too. Don't forget to come back for more crazy stories. And feel free to submit your own stories or suggest other subreddits where I can find even more unhinged content. Catch you next time.